Going to be making a new invention of mine, a tortilla pizza tortilla. Desperate invention we had when we were craving some pizza in the Outback and we were too lazy to make dough. So I'm going to be making the tortilla pizzas. They're going to have some steak in them with a bit of pizza sauce. And Jameen, what are we having to dip it in?
We are going to make my homemade satay sauce, and it's going to be really easy.
Alrighty, perfect. So I'm going to get started on the steak over here. This has been resting to just get to room temperature. So I'm just going to salt this up and I'm going to be sticking it inside my braai clamp. Do we have a lup?
I can go and get you one.
You can grab me one, thank you. Okay, so we're just keeping it simple. Bit of salt, bit of pepper on either side, and then we are gonna chuck this bad boy on the fire at really high heat because it's kind of going to get cooked twice. Okay, that's not going very well. It is slightly windy over here, and don't freak out about fire bans. It has been raining profusely over the past few days, which is weird for this time of year. We don't usually get rain this time of year, but it's soaking in the desert. Like we actually, our road got shut in, so we were shut off from the mainland earlier on this week. So the desert has come to life quite nicely at the moment. But yeah, we do have some weird wind, which is keeping the flies away. Okie dokie.
And the fire is looking really good.
Yeah, the fire I think may be a little bit too hot, but that's on the back of the trailer today because if it was on the ground, I think it would just turn into an absolute blaze. So that is ready to go. And I'm just going to let this fire cool down for a second if you'd like to take over.
Fantastic. So while Matthew is going to be cooking our lovely steak here, I'm going to teach you guys how we're going to make our homemade satay dip. It's quite inspired by more of a Thai Indonesian satay. Bit sweet, bit spicy, but really nice and rich and really yummy when you dip it with the tortilla pizza. So I'm not going to be cooking a lot of dip. So we're going to start off with, I'd say about half an onion. Chop this one for me.
I'll chop onions.
Chop them as finely as you can. And if you guys are a bit lazy peeling off garlic like I am, just grab one of these. I prefer this brand, the Master Foods garlic, just because there's less liquid in there. Makes it a bit easier to cook them into the oil without it splatting it back to you. And we have a
machete knife is great, but the one place it falls short is cutting onions. And I left my petty knife.
Oh yeah, we
Actually,
did.
no, we have the other one. Haha!
A Rui knife.
Yeah, the carbon. What's this? This one's made from the same steel as this is sharp.
The drill bits?
Yeah, it's drill bits. So it rusts really easy, but it stays sharp for an eternity. But it kind of defeats the point as a camping knife because it is going to go blunt on the road, and I don't think anybody has the time to bring whetstones with them to sharpen it themselves. So it's a pretty fancy gimmick, but yeah, it has not. It stays sharp for the trips that we're on, but if you're on the road for multiple weeks, yeah, a softer knife is definitely better because you can just chuck it through a half decent knife sharpener and it'll keep you going. Alrighty, so onions are ready. Do you just want one?
Just one, please. That would be great.
Cool beansios.
Like I said to you guys, if you end up putting a bit more onions in there, it doesn't really matter. It's just going to end up tasting a lot better, I think, in my opinion.
There you go. So where do you want these bad boys?
Fantastic. So I'm going to need to put some coconut oil in there, and this is brand new.
Cool.
There we go. Now I just need to scrape some out.
Alrighty, so while that's busy happening over there, the fire is on the back of the trailer right now, and I'm just going to sneak this bad boy onto the fire. The fire does exist, I promise.
Which you guys will probably see later once Matthew brings in the camera. So I'm just putting some coconut oil in there. Not too much.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
That might need a bit of fixing.
Our awning's running away from us.
I'd say about half a tablespoon.
Yo.
You don't want it to be too oily either. So we'll wait for that to melt the coconut oil. And the reason why I prefer coconut oil is that it adds an extra flavor into any dish, and especially if you're cooking Southeast Asian dishes. We use a lot of coconut oils in our food,
Yeah, without a doubt.
and it is healthier for you.
Cool. While that heats up, I'm going to take you guys round to the fire quickly. There the steak's going. Getting a really hard sear on it, and then it's going to be back to us. So steak has just come off. It's got a really, really hard sear on it. So that's going to rest for a second. Then we're going to chop that up, and then we are going to prepare our wraps to be toasted. So what are you up to?
So I need to start putting that in here.
You chuck those in.
There you go.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to crack this bad boy open. Get the nice steak out. Oh, there we go. Hey, there we go. Okay. Oh, yes. Beautiful. So this is going to go back on the fire. Just sort of heat it up and clean it off. You are going to rest. I need another chopping board. Now, this is where the pizza side of it comes in. We are going to make 2 wraps. So we're going to have one with a barbecue base and one with a pizza sauce base. So I need my wraps. I'm just going to grab the bottoms for now.
There's cheese.
And this is a, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
My lovely assistant.
There you go.
And start off with your bases. So like I said, we're doing one pizza. And one barbecue. Is that open? No.
Oh, that's brand new.
Brand new
Or-
bottle. Nice. We're actually in the mountains quite a little bit, and we've got a new spot we want to shoot at, which is on a hilltop. But
It's a bit
eagle.
windy.
Look at the eagle.
Oh yeah, see it. That's
There's a beautiful wedge-tailed eagle flying in the distance. Yeah, brand new spot we wanted to shoot at, which is on top of a hill. But we were up there the other day just having a
Lovely
lunchtime picnic, and the awning collapsed on us.
yep.
So it's a little less windy today, we thought, but yeah.
We don't want
You
to risk
guys
that.
don't get to see that view just yet. We're still stuck deep in the bush. But on the upside, no flies this morning, which I think is a combination of the wind and the
Time of the
fire
day.
we got going behind us, which is blowing the smoke in the perfect direction. Alrighty, so with this you don't want your base too thick because you want to caramelize the sauces. You don't want the sauces to just start dripping through and make it all soggy. So now that we've got this nicely spread, we are going to go bananas with the cheese, folks, and let's hope the wind allows me to keep the cheese on the bases. Okay, and you do 2 rounds of cheese, so don't waste all of your cheese at the bottom, because the cheese is, think of it more like glue in this sort of situation, and any old cheddar will do. I think some mozzarella, nice and stretchy mozzarella, would also be a winner. But we don't have mozzarella out here, so
Right.
so we've got to stick the wind thing up because that's not cooking with the, what's his name?
Much better, I can hear
steak
that now.
Out. And we're just going to chop it into nice and thin slices, and remember
Louis.
We want them into,
Oh,
look how well that is cooked. Perfect.
Louis.
Nice medium rare, and it's had a good amount of time to cool. And Louis at the bottom, busy catching all of the good bits that fall off. Hey, Louis. Alrighty, steak on.
Already on there.
Okay, and you want to be quite generous with your steak, folks. Yeah, and you don't want too thick a cut of steak either, because what's going to happen is you're going to struggle to clamp it shut, or if you don't have the clamp and you've got to use just the barbecue, you might struggle. I think I got the perfect amount of steak, plus Louis, 1 for Lou. There we go. Managed to get that in the dog's mouth without touching the dog, which is always good because he can't catch. So, now that we got this here, we get our second round of cheese. And I am just going to distribute that nicely over the top. Just add a bit of glue to the top side. Lacking in the cheese department, but I think it's enough once I clamp it shut. Now that that is prepared, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add sauce to the top side. Now, one thing that we haven't tried is we have not tried putting 2 different sauces on 2 different sides. If you want to be the one to try that first, go ahead, but we're keeping it simple today. We're not too much of an experimentation mode. Of course, this sauce is busy exploding itself because I left it the wrong way around.
So while Matthew is doing that, just keep in mind to saute your onions until they're relatively transparent. Then you can put in your already minced garlic and minced ginger, because they're already minced. They tend to cook a lot quicker as opposed to in their unminced form. And I'd probably put about a teaspoon of both of them. Just gonna put some in there. Say that looks more like a teaspoon.
Those are now shut. This is now ready to go. Now we get our braai clamp off the braai. And we load these bad boys into it for a second round of toasting. So I need my trusty welding glove. Just beware, this is extremely hot. Oh, woo! Wind is playing fun games today.
Yeah, and it's turning off my stove as well.
Is it turning off your stove too?
Yep.
Rain, hail or shine, so folks, we will be out camping. So these don't fit perfectly in here. Well, 2 of them don't, but we can manage to squeeze 2 of them in. Just make sure these are on top of each other ever so slightly. Sneak this bad boy to the corner. And then, try not to cut myself where I put my knife. We are going to clamp this very tightly shut. Okay, without the tortilla trying to run away again. So lowest setting, clamp that bad boy as tight as possible. And she be ready for the fire. So I'm going to go back there and toast this off. And Jamie's going to carry on making that sauce. And I will be back with you with these bad boys when they are ready.
All right, so while Matthew is doing that, the onions, like I said, should be transparent before you mix the minced ginger and the minced garlic. Like I said, the minced ingredients tend to cook a lot quicker. So that's why I always cook the onions first before I put everything else in. The ginger and the garlic look a bit more of a golden brown color. Not too brown, you don't want to burn them. Then we are going to put about 2 teaspoons of red curry. And we're going to cook that until the curry is fragrant. I'd say about 2 minutes of sauteing the curry. It should be okay. While that's doing that, I'm going to start peeling off the foil from our stock. Like the onions, the ginger, and the garlic have combined really well with the curry. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. Just enough to sort of submerge the ingredients. Then we're going to put in our stock. If you have liquid stock, it'll be better. But the problem is with the liquid stock, to get that flavor, you need quite a bit of it. And if you guys do end up using liquid stock, do use the whole carton, but reduce the liquid. So you're gonna have to wait quite a while. So I like to use the powdered stock. So it should look like this if you use the powdered stock with a little bit of water. Almost looks like a paste. And I use a little bit of water just to help the stock combine with the curry and the rest of the herbs and spices. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. Don't want to make it too liquidy. Then we're going to tone down the heat a little bit. We're going to put our coconut milk. I'll only pour a little bit at a time, just to make sure that the coconut milk combines well with the paste that you just made.
Okie dokie.
But you're going to end up using all of it anyway.
So,
oh, that's looking really good.
pizzas are done. They got a bit toasty on the one side compared to the other side, but that's okay. So I'm just going to leave those there to cool down for a sec.
I like mine to have a lot of coconut milk, but I do recommend if you want it to have a
He ate a fly.
oh dear, poor thing. If you want to have it to have a thicker consistency, just use half the Tetra Pak. Now you don't want to reduce your curry or your satay too much, because once you add the peanut butter, it's going to thicken it up a bit as well. And it's going to change color. Alrighty, I think it's relatively all right. Going to put some brown sugar in there. I'd say about 2 tablespoons. I like using brown sugar to add that extra depth. There we go. That's 2 tablespoons, I think. And that's smelling really good. Okay, now we can add half of this. So there's already half left in the container because we used it last time. So this is about 200 grams, so use about 100 grams worth of smooth peanut butter. You can have it crunchy if you like. I like it smooth. Would you mind cutting the
lime in here.
the lime, please?
There it is. Just this bad boy.
Yes, that's the one. Now, if you guys are wondering why it looks weird, I took the zest out of it because I like using it in.
What's up with it?
I like using zest in my dishes. There we go.
Jeez.
I think taking out
It
the skin.
hardened the sides. Like the sides completely dried. Like gave it armor. That's wild.
Thank you so much. Would you mind cutting it in half again for me? It makes it easier to squeeze out if you can.
Holy cow. That is insane. Do you want me to squeeze it for you?
Not yet, darling. Thank you.
Okay.
Just gonna taste test this
That's
first.
pretty wild.
We always put our lemon or lime last, just because if you leave it cooking for too long in heat, it turns bitter. So when you're stirring your sauce, and you can see there's a bit of a delay, obviously. You can see if it's relatively thick enough. Then you can add your lime. Now, like I said, it depends on your taste, but I like adding the lime, just to add a bit of zest to the creamy and sweet and thick sauce.
Got these bad boys out. They've cooled down. So they are nice and crunchy right now, which is what
looking
you
so
want. bit toastier on the other side, which nothing like a bit of char. All right, so this is where this knife also shines, is it actually works really nicely as a pizza cutter. I'm just gonna chop these into some good old pizza slices. If they're not falling into bits, we have toasted them enough.
Oh, that's looking so
Alrighty,
good.
so there's one, some nice good slices. Okay, so that's our barbecue one. There we are, is that almost ready?
It is.
Cool, let me grab some
I'm
bowls.
gonna add a little bit more lime in that one. So far I've used about half a lime now.
Half a lime.
Half a lime. But it really depends on your taste. If you like it to be this sweet,
Louis.
then you can reduce the lime that you use. But I really like the zest.
Cool, so that is
Get
looking
afterwards.
delicious. And as you can see, like this meal can be used as a snack as well if you want. A nice little like dipping meal.
Alrighty.
That looks delicious.
Nice and
I think
thick.
you could pour that on top if you wanted to as well. Now go way more
More?
sauce. Wild, yeah, there we go. Because you really want to be able to get your sauce in there.
There you go. And you still
That
have a little bit
looks
left as well.
Fantastic. Alrighty, moment of truth. Which one do you want to try first?
I'll get the barbecue.
The barbecue. Alright, I'm going to dig into the pizza sauce one. So what you want to do is dip them on in and
Taste. Oh my goodness.
that's good.
That's satay.
That is fantastic.
Oh.
I don't want to talk to you people anymore. I just want to sit and eat. That is good.
Those sauces with the satay. Oh, it's Asian fusion at
That
its
is brilliant.
finest.
That is brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is good. Alrighty, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I would strongly, one for Louis.
Yeah,
I
very
would
much.
strongly recommend trying this. It was really easy to make, and from here it can be thrown in a Tupperware and reheated later if you want to. Be brilliant. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and do all the things, folks. And remember,
See you in the Outback.